Welcome. I wanted to talk about communication. So, there are three things that I'm going to be working on until the day I die, and one of them is communication. I love learning about communication. It's usually the problem to the source of the problem for most challenges, and it's most always the solution, which I just think that's the coolest thing ever. And I wanted to share something with you today. I'm in the middle of getting certified for crucial conversations, and I was just really blown away by one of the chapters about making it safe to communicate, to have important conversations. And it was discussing defensiveness in particular. And I had an aha moment because I remembered a lesson I had learned from. Okay, so let me back up. Defensiveness, I find, is a huge issue when it comes to communication. So when you, the speaker, becomes defensive and the person you're speaking to becomes defensive, that can derail the whole conversation. So I believe if we really learn to manage that defensiveness, we can improve our conversations 1000%. And so in crucial conversations, they talk about defensiveness being a sign that the person doesn't feel safe anymore. And before I get into what crucial conversations talks about as the solution for making someone feel safe and addressing their defensiveness, I want to talk about you because you might become defensive. I know there are conversations where I become defensive, and I want to make sure I give you a tool for managing your own defensiveness. And then I want to talk about a tool for managing the other person's defensiveness. So, first and foremost, really important to recognize that you are becoming defensive. So, being on the lookout, and it might look different in a professional setting versus a personal setting. So, get to know yourself. What are the signs that you are becoming defensive? That you're moving from the intention of communication to defending. When you get to know yourself and you see the signs, like for me, I shift from this open posture to closed, and it's almost like I'm getting ready for battle, like I'm going to defend. And my breathing becomes shallow. So, whatever the signs are for you, when you become defensive, notice, take a really deep breath. Take two or three if you need to, whatever you need to do so that you can bring your curious mind to the moment, so that you can do your best thinking. After you've calmed down, it's important to accept that most of the time we're getting defensive because we're telling ourselves a story. So I learned this from Brene Brown, that one of the best ways to manage when that's happening is to confirm your story with someone else. So let's say that I'm getting defensive because maybe someone of authority is asking me about my projects and I'm starting to defend. So I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to tell the person, excuse me, I just need to confirm a story I'm telling myself. With these questions you're asking me, the story I'm telling myself is that my work might not be good enough. Is that true? Or in a personal situation, if I'm starting to get defensive because maybe I'm misreading a tone or a facial gesture, I might tell the person, time out, please. I just want to confirm something. I noticed you rolled your eyes, and you turned away, and the story I'm telling yourself is that you don't care to hear my story. Is that true? Now, they might say it's true, okay? And then you can defend away. Or if you're anything like me, 95% of the time, the stories that I'm telling myself are totally wrong. So it's really neat to get, no, I had something in my eye, or I have a headache, or maybe the person in authority might say, no, I just have questions because I want to share the progress on your report, but I need to understand it better. I find that it's just such a relief. So if you are becoming defensive, really important to identify what are the signs that you're becoming defensive, and right away, before too much time builds or the story grows bigger, stop and ask the person. Let them know what story you're telling yourself and ask them to confirm or to share more information. Okay, now let's talk about the other person. So if you are discussing something and you notice someone becomes defensive, like maybe their posture is closed, maybe they start to verbally defend, very important to stop. That's a sign they don't feel safe. So this is coming from crucial conversations. Defensiveness is a sign that the person doesn't feel safe. And I imagine you want them to feel safe because you want to have a productive conversation. So it's really important at that moment to stop and tell the person what you don't mean and what you do mean. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So, for example, if you are working on a team and there seems to be a challenge, and you're asking one of the team members about their submission of their work, and they start saying, I I did the best I could. I sent the work on time. You notice they're getting defensive, so you can stop and say, I'm sorry, I don't mean to imply that your work is less than satisfactory. Your work is excellent. We've worked together several times. The quality of your work is great. I want to find out what's happening because I want to identify the gap so that we can fix it. So I'm letting the person know that I'm not concerned about their work. I didn't intend, I could even say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to imply that I wasn't happy with your work. Your work is great. It's always been great. What I want to do is try to find the problem. So you are saying what you don't intend, so you can clarify, and then you are following it with what you do intend. And really important that it be an and. So I don't mean this, and I do mean this. You don't want to say, I don't mean this, but don't use but. But's not good. Use and. Now, let me give you an example in your personal life. So let's say that your partner has just had a change in their job and their work has doubled. They are stressed and they're not really able to complete that items that they normally do around the house. So you're wanting to talk to them. So you come up to them and you're saying, hi, I really want to talk about the housework. And they start to say something like, I've been doing the best I could. I am really stressed. Okay, time out. Take a nice deep breath. You want to tell them what you don't mean and what you do mean. So I don't mean to say that you're not doing enough. I know that your work is increased and that it's a stressful time. I do want to talk about how we can manage balancing these extra demands you have at work and also taking care of our home. Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh. So What I like to do, because I really want to get better at all of this, I intentionally look out for 2 times that I can practice whatever technique I'm practicing on. So, what that will look like for me this week is I'm going to be on the lookout. I want to do this once or more in my professional life and once or more in my personal life. So, I'm going to be on the lookout for if I ever get defensive, so that I can take a deep breath and then confirm the story that I'm telling myself with the other person. So they have an opportunity, right, to clarify. I'm also going to be on the lookout for when someone becomes defensive when they're talking to me. And I am going to stop, and I'm going to do an I don't statement. So I'm going to tell them what I don't intend, what I don't mean in this conversation, and I'm going to follow it up with what I do mean, what I do intend, hopefully to course correct and make it safe to communicate. I hope you found this helpful. Please let me know in the comments if you are willing to take this concept out on a test drive. I am super excited about getting certified in crucial conversations, and I will continue to share the nuggets. All right, I'm rooting for your success times 1,000. If you found this helpful, please share with your network, and I hope you have the most incredible day ever. Bye.